Howdy, 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 my name is Anachi Sasuke, and welcome back to Let's Read Homestuck, the Epilogues! In the last episode, Dirk Strider took over the narrative, because of course he did. It wouldn't be Homestuck without Striders doing things they have no business being able to do, right? So, also, Jade possibly died, but probably not. Jade gasps awake and begins to spiral. Her body vibrates, sending waves of space distortion out in all directions, but there's nothing to absorb those distortions. No space, no nothing. She's floating in a void of pure, overwhelming light. She feels it even before she feels the pain from the wound in her chest. The vast emptiness surrounding her, the absolute abyss once known as the furthest ring. For a moment, she has the feeling that she's recalling something. Images and sounds in her head that resemble memories. But the memories aren't hers exactly, they seem to be someone else's. There's an older version of Roxy, someone with a cheerful green skull for a head who was Roxy's girlfriend? Something about an election? No, this doesn't make any sense at all. The memories are slipping away anyway. Quickly they dissolve, and soon they're completely out of her mind's reach, like she's waking from a dream. Just like that, they're gone. All that's left are the memories belonging to her, along with a dire predicament for which she must claim responsibility. Her friends. Lord English, this great nothingness, this savage wound in her chest, that black hole. She looks away from it. Quickly, reflexively, the way you turn away from a light source that's too bright. The hole causes the same kind of discomfort to behold. It's so dark it hurts. Yet it calls her. Her hair spills around her like tentacles unfurling. She coils into a fetal position and runs her fingers along the edge of the shard in her chest. It sends pins and needles under her skin. It's pure negative potential. The absence of a future. The thing skewering her through right now is the space between breaths, between atoms. She tries to remove it, but has trouble getting a grip on it. It fails to behave like a solid piece of matter, remains lodged within her stubbornly. It hurts, but she won't finish dying. Not just yet. She unfolds, blinking against the vast, empty light around her. Her memories crease as she moves, filling her mind with the knowledge of the last few hours. She's 16, she thinks, trying to orient herself. She just fought Lord English after being plucked out of a doomed timeline, at least if you can even call what she did fighting. But was that a dream? It was significant, she knows that much. Dave and Carcat, why did they jump into her mind as a unit? Earth-C? What's Earth-C? Concepts collide, commingle. Two different understandings of her world knit into each other as easily as she takes her next breath. Urgency bleeds off her neuroreceptors, melts right out of her fingertips. She lets herself float unmoored, carried along an ebb tide in space that only she can perceive. She wonders if anyone else survived. She wants to see John. She didn't notice the moment she turned her gaze back towards the black hole, but now she couldn't look away if she tried. In slow, hazy spirals, it beckons her. The longer she stares at it, the deeper she peers into the folds of infinite atrophy, and the louder it gets. Loud? She only now notices there's a sound emanating from it, but not the kind physical ears can detect. The hole has a voice, one that becomes material the more the expanding black sphere dominates her senses. Jade's wound throbs. She hears the voice fill up the dark space between her ribs. It's calling her to her from the center of the depth of everything. She kicks off her ruby red slippers and drifts ever closer. Come. What the fuck? Forget I said that. Jade leans into her accelerating descent. She listens for another command, but the hole seemingly said all it will. She considers asking who is speaking, but her mouth stays shut, powerless against the forces transfixing her. Jade has no way of knowing who this voice belongs to. She has no context for understanding the true nature of this being, what role she's played into bringing about the end, and how long she has been waiting for this. She has no idea. But I do. The dead cherub is making her move. We should get the fuck out of here. Let's see what Dave is up to, okay? Holy shit, that's disgusting! Don't be a fucking xenophobe! I'm not being a xenophobe. Carcat doesn't respond immediately. He shuffles his feet to the edge of the outcropping they're standing on and stares down at the brood pit, where the mother grub of Earthsea is squelching out unfertilized jelly. Dude, you know I'm not a xenophobe. No answer. The silence makes Dave actually back up for 3 seconds to think about what the hell just came out of his mouth. He's worried that maybe he said something wrong here, that he was being horribly insensitive inside a place that's probably holy ground for the few Alternia-born trolls left alive. Maybe flippant xenophobia isn't the best look in front of your alien pseudo-boyfriend when it comes to jamming about the irreconcilable biological differences between your species. Dave could definitely be handling the situation with a certain measure of restraint or grace, but He's got my gene, so he decides to handle it in a different way than that. I mean, that's what this whole election thing is about, having your back when it comes to this reproduction issue. Well, that and the economy. Let's not lose total sight of the economy in this critical discussion, but I'm almost as passionate about this troll speciesism thing as I am about the economy, which you may not have known is my #1 issue. My wheelhouse, you could say, but my other wheelhouse is like giving a fuck about your feelings and culture and shit. Karkat still doesn't answer. He's staring real intently at the jelly. Dude, hey, Karkat. Yo, Karkat, you listening? Hey, dipshit, shut up for a minute! I'm not ignoring you because I'm mad! What? That wasn't what I know that you perish like a delicate lilac bloom in the fucking desert if not showered with my verbal attention at all times. But I'm kind of witnessing the rebirth of my entire fucking species right here. You ever think that this might be a monumental moment for me? That I might be awestruck at the pure majesty of this sight? Dave comes to the edge of the outcropping, standing shoulder to shoulder with Karkat as he too observes the majesty of translucent goo getting birthed out by an alien asshole. Karkat's got a strange expression on his face, casts half in shadow and half in orange light. Dave winces as the grub's nasty slime chute sputters out a bunch of air bubbles. It's a gross, gurgling fart that goes on basically forever. Yeah, but it is totally disgusting, right? I can't fucking believe you! What part of this is disgusting? Is it the slow deflating of its distended abdomen? The sounds of dozens of segmented legs clacking against its exoskeleton? The unfertilized slurry being slowly squeezed from its ovipositional sphincter? Is that it? Is that disgusting to you, Dave? Kind of. You're right, it's horrible. To be completely honest, I would have gladly gone the rest of my wretched existence without ever seeing this. It's like when you squish a toothpaste down in the middle, only the tube is filled with fetus juice. I'm sorry, but I can hear you from down here. Did you want to talk to me, or are you intent on performing an impromptu and very unfunny comedy act on my front step? Oh, hey, Kanaya. Dave grabs Karkat by the wrist of his oversized sweater, and they skid down the narrow walkway into the mouth of the crater. Kanaya steps out from beneath the canopy where she was doing grub science, wiping her hands on a silk cloth. She's glowing. Her skin, I mean. Her mood can be politely described as pensive. Still, she smiles at the sight of old friends. What's shaking, sis? Must you always call me that? Nah, but it does feel pretty rad to say. Like, wow, my sister-in-law's an alien, how cool's that? I love our awesome planet where everyone is free to perform xenophilic family units without fear of government interferences or reprisal. Which is totally a smooth segue into the topic at hand. That wasn't smooth at all! In fact, I don't think it would be possible for you to raise the subject we've come to talk about in a more ostentatiously awful and awkward way. Just because you did that stupid little... Here, Karkat pauses to imitate a very common Davism that involves 2 hands and a double wrist swivel. It's an incredibly good imitation because he sees this particular bit of body language like 10 times a day. Motion with your hands doesn't make it smooth. No, see, the reason it's smooth is because I was the one who did it. I've got inherent smoothness, and it's a quality that transfers to everything I say and do. Also, that thing I do with my hands isn't stupid, it's cool. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen! You do it like 10 times a day! What is it even supposed to be? I'm dropping a beat. Like I'm using a turntable and scratching one song into another. All smooth and shit. It looks like you're trying to fold laundry you forgot to iron. Dude, have you never once in your life ironed a shirt? I'm familiar with the basic mechanics of your Earth customs, Dave! Okay, ironing is definitely not Earth culture. I've seen Kanaya iron, like, a whole bunch of shirts. Yo, Kanaya, back me up here, sis. Kanaya regards them with a thin-lipped smile that is equal measures patronizing and was it florid? Fond. Okay, there's just a spot on my screen. So, this is about the election. Ah, yes, you've already heard! Kanaya holds up her phone. I do get the internet down here. I'm impressed that you managed to be seen in front of that many people without spontaneously bursting into flames. Wow, thanks! Another vote of confidence from one of my dearest friends! This condescension is really rich coming from the person who decided her narcissistic obsession with being the one to hatch the mother grub was more important than not sending our planet with a stopgap system reproduction that would cause the systemic speciesism to ossify into society for 5,000 years. Karkat, hey. This again? Yes, this again! Fuck! Karkat, buddy. Remember the game plan here? We want to get Kanaya on our side, not alienate her completely. Karkat, I acknowledge that there have been consequences to the decisions we made regarding the foundation of the society that were not foreseen or ideal, but I do not think it is productive to attribute these resultant troubles to a single decision or individual. It stands in the way of our efforts to address them. Shh! You know as well as I do that we must present a united front. Please do not misinterpret my tone. I have nothing but the utmost faith in you. Kanaya reaches out to put a hand on Karkat's head. He doesn't duck away in time, and she gives him an affectionate, matronly hair ruffle between his horns. Oh, sorry, wrong voice. She keeps her hand there and pulls him in a step closer so that she can speak softly to him. Her voice travels high in the empty cavern, but her tone is tender and private. I don't know how to do a tender, private Kanaya voice. While I know that it is difficult for you to take a direct compliment, I have in the past put my faith in you when the threat to our survival has been immediate and literal. It's basically nothing to ask me to do it again now that the threat is far more. Kanaya pauses here, choosing her words more carefully than usual. She takes her hand off Karkat's head and puts 2 fingers to her lip. Karkat's eyes follow the motion wide and bright as dollar coins. Existential is how I think I shall put it, if we are going to be polite. You're up on all the issues then. Kanaya sighs and starts making her way around the edge of the brood pit. How could I not be when it concerns me so directly? She lifts up the hem of her skirt and jumps in. Dave is watching her, but Karkat's looking contemplatively at his entwined hands. Kanaya's right. It's almost excruciating for him to take a completely unironic compliment, especially face to face, like what she just said to him. I understand this about Karkat. It's one of the precious few things he and I have in common. We internalize and project equality in very different ways, however, which is why I'm going to win. Win what? Jane has been here to speak with me recently, in fact. No fucking way! She was quite cordial as always. You know I do like Jane. In some regards, she reminds me of a friend who sadly did not survive our time on the Meteor. She was unfailingly kind to everyone she met, but she also happened to be the heiress to the throne of a vast and bloody empire. And while she had a lot of opinions on reform, she had already wrenched some of her power from our last empress in the traditional manner. Karkat finally looks up at the description of one of their many dead friends. Kanaya carefully steps between the puddles of brood jelly and approaches the mother grub. She rests an ear against the rise of its massive stomach, then taps the shell with 2 perfectly manicured fingernails. By which I mean that Jane is perfectly pleasant, and I believe she has only the best of intentions, but I can't shake the feeling that deep inside her lurks the potential for despotism. Okay, I get why you guys keep calling Jane a crypto-fascist, but fucking Pfeffery? She was harmless! These things take time to gestate, Karkat. Damn. Power corrupts in small steps, compromises, concessions, appeasements, and leaders follow the example set for them. Look at what Jane has modeled herself after already. I do believe it's important to consider precedent. When Kanaya is satisfied by whatever she hears churning inside the grotesque insides of the giant bug, she comes back up to the lip of the pit and hoists herself out. This is why I trust you, Karkat, because you listen to advice from below and beside you, not from above. And if Dave is with you, I trust you not to isolate yourself as you have in the past. Sweet, so we've got your endorsement then. She laughs, not kindly. Jane offered me a seat on the board of responsible troll reproduction. What the fuck? How dare she? That is exactly what I said, with more tact, of course. I do understand the trepidation considering what the history books teach about Alternia. Oh, like human history is a fucking walk in the recreation sprawl. How hypocritical can she be? Yes. In case you can't tell, I'm actually fucking furious about this. She couldn't pick a more subtle word than responsible. She's not even trying to mask her xenophobia. It's like she has no fucking respect for us. It is entirely thoughtless on her part. Our reproduction method is alien and unfamiliar. To a human, it must sound monstrous. Uncontrolled, even. Well, of course, when I hear about how human grubs chew their way out of the female matrix abdominal hole before consuming the womb membrane, it makes me want to vomit. But you don't see me proposing fucking political policy based on that. Dude, that's not how pregnancy works. Dave, you might have noticed, but we're not talking about humans right now. Yes, Dave, check your privilege, okay? Anyway, we need to expose her bullshit immediately. I don't see how any troll can vote for her if they hear what she's planning. I have a feeling that it would sway many non-trolls to our campaign as well. I hope that there is at least one principle we share as a planet, which is that we must all work to ensure equal dignity and respect for every species. Otherwise, what was this all for? The 3 of them stare at the floor in adorably cartoonish synchronized floor staring. Fuck this word. What was this all for, indeed? That's a good question. Morality is a cultural construct. It's pure ego for any of them to believe that their personal interpretation of it will result in the most effective laws. You know, that might be the magic ticket folks need to hear to wake up about this issue. Would you be willing to say exactly that, but like, in front of a huge crowd and also a television crew or 6? Or maybe just in front of Jake English? Oh dear, has Jane recruited Jake? That would be disastrous. He's beloved in the Troll Kingdom for his perky ass. Seriously? I told you it's not just me! It has some terrible arcane power. I've never seen anything like it. Well, she doesn't have him yet, but Jane is one of his best friends, so we gotta approach this with a scorched earth policy. Give him a whole cadre of sob stories that'll make him feel all manly and heroic for lending his support. Just gift wrapping babies for him to kiss. Troll babies, even? Sure, that can be part of the deal. He can kiss the first natural-born grub right on his gooey little head. While giving double pistols and a wink to the camera, no doubt. Bam! That's your re-election billboard right there. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Of course not, but this definitely has potential. Have you spoken to Rose yet? No, I mean, she's... Dave mimes lying down and taking pills. The look Kanai gives him is neither fond nor patronizing. What's up with that anyway? Are you guys, grub pregnant? Kanai keeps staring. Dave, what the fuck? No. It's okay if you are, we won't tell. No. Don't you dare drag me into this grave you're digging for yourself! Come on, Karkat, don't you want to be an uncle to a little bundle of love and unnatural genetic tampering? No. What even goes on inside your head that you just produce this endless gushing spate of atrocious word garbage every day? Okay, stop freaking out. I'm just saying, from what I understand of troll reproduction, it would be technically possible for a troll and a human to... No. And with ectobiology, anything's possible. Oh my god! Whatever put you on this unfathomable train of thought? I don't know, it's just unusual for Rose to brush me off for our annual ecto-sibling oversharing session. She's been sick for a while, either she's pregnant or I got reasons to be worried. Kanaya turns her head and bites her lip. Her thin fingers clutch at the hem of her skirt. She starts flickering a little like a light bulb in a heavy storm. The mood in here is just all over the place. Dave, sensing how uncomfortable he's made everything, cranks up the irreverence in his tone. When you put a foot in your mouth, shoving it all the way through your intestines and pulling it out your ass is a valid tactic, he seems to believe. I'd be cool with it, you know, bring on the Rosemary combo grubs. Rosemary. Like, Rose plus your last name, which is Marion or something, right? Miriam. Yeah, that, ergo, Rosemary. I hate it. The Rosemary babies would have her hair and your horns or whatever, like... When two cartoon animals of different species give in to their lust and have preposterous children, fucking adorbs. I'm going to call my wife, and you are going to stop talking. Her thumb is anxiously tapping on her wife's name in her contacts list. She walks briskly to the other side of the cave for privacy, pulling the curtain of her makeshift lab shut. At the other side of the cavern, Dave and Karkat bicker about what their combo kids would look like in the event that they decided to stop being such laughable wusses and began fornicating like two cartoon animals of different species who would have given in to their lusts. And the day hell freezes over, maybe their kids could even play in the snow. Kanaya puts her phone to one ear and her hand to the other. Rose's line rings for a long time. It's unusual, she thinks. Rose rarely leaves her phone unattended. Personally, I don't think it's odd because I'm currently watching Rose lying unconscious on my workshop floor. I'm guessing Kanaya is going to be pretty surprised when it's not her wife who picks up, but she'll have to deal with it because I'm the one holding the phone and Rose is in absolutely no condition to be having a conversation with anyone. Not even her cherished bride. Hey, sorry, but Rose can't come to the phone right now. Kanaya's voice turns sharp right away. Excuse me? She can sense that something's wrong. She's also smart enough and facile enough in handling questionable men to understand that she quickly needs to regulate the tone of her voice for diplomatic purposes. Dirk, is that you? I don't answer immediately, I'm distracted by something. She really should chill out anyway. I've got everything under control. Not that she'll ever be able to fully appreciate this. Dirk? Why are you with Rose? What is going on? I don't have time to explain right now. John's doing something vaguely important to the plot. Again. I don't have time to explain right now. John's doing something vaguely important to the plot again. Dirk? What? This is going to have to wait. Dirk! I'm putting you on hold, okay? Dirk! You've been drifting so long that you've lost the ability to objectively judge time or depth or distance. It's getting hard to think about yourself as an objectively limited being. The boundaries of your skin begins to thin and disappear. What is it that makes an individual an individual? Is it the physical space we occupy? The electric sparks that sizzle through our brain flesh? If your perception expands beyond the meat sack of your body, then are you really an individual anymore? Why shouldn't we become gods? Why shouldn't we become one god? You scrunch up your nerdy face and furrow an eyebrow. It seems you aren't enjoying this train of thought. Why am I even thinking about this bullshit? Sorry, dude, that's what's on my mind right now. I'm having a phenomenological debate in my third ear that's way more popping than your little hero's journey into the belly of a quarter-life crisis. Ah! It turns out you don't have time to worry about the voice inside your head because you hear one outside of it. At first you don't think it's real. You think it must be an aural mirage. Then it calls you the fuck out. Yo, blue guy, get the shell down here! You whirl around upside down. You look up, then down. There she is. She's clinging to a random server beacon, looking a little worse for wear, but still grinning. You float on down to meet her. Thank God! I was beginning to think that no one else was alive. I'm not alive. Oh, right. Sorry. I'm glad to see you, is what I meant to say. Same, I fucking guess. She narrows her blank eyes, her mouth twists into a frown. Not quite a concerned one, but close enough. You'll take it. I gotta say, damn boy, you look like shit. Yeah, I know. I suffered a mortal wound and then I threw up on myself. Other than that, I'm okay though. Waterboat Lord English. He bite the bullet or what? Yeah, he's pretty fucking dead. Well, there's that at least. There is definitely that at least. You both stare at each other for a pretty long time and let it sink in. It's a hell of a fact, no doubt, but aside from reaching verbal agreement on certain basic points of fact, you both realize you're pretty much out of material. You were kind of hoping you'd discover a survivor you could have an actual conversation with. Not that you aren't glad to see Mina, but you don't know her, and she's not who you were really looking for. That reminds you. Hey, me... Fish? Christ. Me Fish? No, I know that's not your name. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. It's Mina. Right, Mina, have you by any chance seen Jade around? Who the fuck is Jade? This is without a doubt one of the worst conversations you've had in many, many years, and you aren't just thinking that because I'm telling you you are. Well, she's... I don't know. I mean, really? You don't know Jade? Why the fuck you suppose I'm tight with some random-ass hoe? Jade's like a big deal? I thought you were kind of important too. You didn't even know my name, dog. Ugh. You've never been accused of having stellar people reading skills, but even you can tell the look on her face says it all right now. Wait a minute, do you even know my name? This is a two-way street, you know. Nah. Nah, what? So you don't know it? Like, Joke? Joke something? No! It's John! Joke is my biological father. No, I mean Jake! Jake is his name! Damn it! Halfway through this exchange, Mina pulls out a small clamshell-shaped accessory kit and begins to file her nails. She almost dislocates her jaw by yawning the moment you mention Jake. Alright, we're veering off course. Jade is my sister. I think she's still out here somewhere. Have you seen her? Nah, man. Your entire body deflates. This is going nowhere. Turns out me Fish is fucking useless. You decide to do her as well as yourself the favor of completely ruling out the possibility of eliciting any valuable information from this person. You exhale and just let some stuff off your chest. Man, I just didn't expect everything to go to shit so fast. That's how the shit always goes. Yeah, I guess. So, never mind Jade. Have you seen any other survivors? Like, anyone at all? Nope. I ain't moved from this floating hunger trunk-looking piece of shit since I got my bass kicked. Or bass kicked. Well, you're the first I've seen, too. Oh. There's another awkward silence. You spend most of it looking at your feet until something occurs to you. So what's your plan now? Plan? Yeah, you just gonna hang around here in the middle of nowhere, doing nothing forever? That's what Ghost is most good at, ain't they? You don't have to stay here. I can take you back with me to my planet. I mean, after we're done looking for more survivors. Mina stares at you for an uncomfortably long time. She looks you up and down like she's making certain calculations. On the one hand, spending infinity clinging to a fridge-like space computer circling a black hole sounds like a drag. On the other hand, with her coolness and street cred be able to survive any prolonged association with this dumb blue nerd, that's what she could be thinking, you think. You hope not, though, because if true, it would hurt your self-esteem. She finally appears to make up her mind. Nah, why not? Okay, for one thing, genius, I'm dead. I won't even last on your planet. I'll just, like, fade away or some shit. I don't know what happens to ghosts in real places, actually, but I'm gonna guess it goes something like that. Oh yeah, whoops, I forgot. Anyway, while you was floating there, I came up with my own plan. What is it? Come here, gonna whisper it to you. Okay. You lean in rather credulously and bring your ear toward her cup hand. Nerd. You pull back, unamused by the prank. What is this, you think? Fucking amateur hour? Real cute you want to be my savior, blue boy, but the fact is, you already helped me out. Got everything I need from you. See you around, sucker! She's laughing her ass off. Before you can react, she jams the button down on the beacon and opens the server. She jumps into the hatch and the door snaps closed behind her. Oh shit. I think I know what just happened. You might want to check your pockets. Wait a minute? You fruitlessly fumble around in your front hoodie pocket. Wait a fucking minute! Sure enough, it's missing. The ring of life you stole back from Arania has been restolen. Bitch just picked your pocket. You got played, man. Fuck! Oh, hey, it's this conversation again. Why are you with Rose? What is going on? Why would you think something was going on? By which I mean, why would you automatically assume that what's going on has a sinister overtone? Did I say that I suspected something sinister was going on? Not with your words, no, but in the grand scheme of things, isn't something always going on? Why would you even ask what is going on if you didn't assume that the thing going on was both abnormal and untoward? Well, now I'm definitely thinking that something sinister is going on because you are obviously trying to distract me with semantics. A tactic I'm sure you're familiar with. Excuse me? I'm just making an observation. You know your wife pretty well. You know all her tricks, all her little personality quirks. You're confident that you know everything about her. But for some reason, you have no idea where she is right now. What are you getting at? Nothing. Just making sure we both have a clear view of the situation. Laying out the playing field, as it were. Okay? I'm going to give you another chance. Why don't we start this conversation over again and you can say the correct thing this time? Sure. Hello. Excuse me, but I would like to speak with my wife, Rose, whose phone I do believe I am calling, even these primitive human smartphones have acceptably accurate caller ID technology. Sorry, Rose can't come to the phone right now. She is otherwise occupied. Where is she? She's in my place. I'm sorry, what? Rose is extremely ill and should not be leaving the house alone. What is she doing at your place? Chillaxing whilst we discuss the inevitable heat death of the universe and the unknowable, solitary nature of human consciousness. I see. If she is capable of such abstract polemics, why is it that she cannot speak with me? That's a damned good question. One that will undoubtedly benefit from further exploration over the course of the next abstract polemic I have with her. Yes, I admit I'm just fucking with her at this point, but can you blame me when she's making it so easy? Kanaya loves Rose, but sometimes love just isn't enough. Sometimes what you need is understanding. You're testing my patience sorely, Dirk. Yeah, I've gotten pretty good at that. Just ask my fans. I'm not making a joke. Me neither. I don't really do jokes. Neither do I. I do often make statements which hold varying degrees of irony, acerbic wit, or dry expressions of amusement. Yes, that roughly describes many of the remarks I make as well. I knew you'd understand. However, my commiseration on this matter should not be mistaken for just our friendship or our camaraderie at this moment. Then it seems we're at an impasse. It won't be an impasse for very long. I'm coming over immediately to retrieve my wife, if that's what you want. Tell her I'm on my way. Sure, I'll get right on that. I hang up on her. Rose looks up from where she's suffering on the floor. The shadows around her are growing. She stares at me with glassy eyes. Is everything okay? Yeah, just a telemarketer. You know how those Carapatians can be when they want to sell you some cheap, some chest shit. Impossible to get them off the phone. Let's see. The server Mina fled through is a distant speck now. You look back and can't even see it anymore. In fact, you're not even sure you're looking in the right direction. You are utterly adrift, continuing your lazy orbit around the black hole. The only thing you are sure of is the fact that your ring of life is freshly pilfered from your not-so-fresh-looking hoodie. It doesn't really bother you, though. It's not like you had any plans for it. Taking it from Aranea was like a bonus as far as you were concerned. Extra life ring? Nice, maybe it'll come in handy someday. Scratch that now. The young Condess has it, and is probably hatching bold new plans as we speak. Not that those plans will ever have anything to do with you. Hours and hours slip by, your eyes start to hurt, and the wound in your chest starts feeling numb. It's a disconcerting combination of sensations. After a while, you think about tending to your wound. There must be something in your dad's wallet you could use to bandage the gash. You eye the wallet and try to imagine what could possibly be inside that will be of any use on a medical basis. A straight razor? You'd probably fuck yourself up even more if you tried to perform surgery. You notice you can't seem to make yourself care about healing yourself long enough to continue entertaining ways to MacGyver your body back to health using nothing but the contents of a wallet belonging to a middle-aged shaving-obsessed pipe enthusiast. You put the wallet back in your pocket. A glint of red catches your eye just ahead. Then it's gone. No, there it is again, another glint. It's flickering or sparkling in some way. What is that? You drift towards it without urgency, worried that it's exactly what you think it is. You get close enough to confirm. 2 small red slippers coated in tiny gemstones. Jade's empty shoes are a depressing sight, but you feel a sense of duty to retrieve them. Might as well. You secure them in the wallet, along with whatever other junk is in there. Your wound is starting to throb again. You can hear your blood in your ears. The rush of your pulse is so loud that it almost sounds like the engine of a rocket sputtering to a stop. Wait. It sounds exactly like the engine of a rocket sputtering to a stop. It can't be. It's impossible, you think, but why would it be impossible? Isn't this what you were out here looking for? Even if you couldn't admit it to yourself? What's the point in denying it now? You turn around. There she is with her flaming red rocket wings. She hovers in place, looking not a whole lot different from when you last saw her years ago. Her arms are crossed over her chest, making a knife-like angles where her elbows jut out. She's giving you a look of absolute disregard. It's an expression of exasperation so performative and habitual, it sends bolts of aching nostalgia and fondness through your heart. Dumbly, you raise your hand and give her a dorky little wave. It does not adequately communicate whatever it is you're feeling right now, but then, nothing else would, you suppose. She waves back, but hearing her voice is what makes it real. Hey, loser! Okay, so now Terezi's a thing, but apparently not really, because now it's time for Meet 25 and Rose is talking. But we're going to have to hang on to that until the next episode. So, this has been Anachi Sasuke. This is episode 151 of Let's Read Homestuck. This series is now officially as long as the Kanto Pokedex. If you liked it, a like and subscribe will be groovy. If you didn't, you'll need to do either one of those things. And hey, this is the first episode in a while that I didn't end it pissed off at the end. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Later!